Hello, and welcome to the special birthday edition of It's a Frankly Harry podcast. This is your host, Frank Weber. So glad that you could join me today in the forest for this very special show. I'm turning 47 as this show airs on October 23rd, or I guess you could say drops in podcast language. I'm actually recording it on what I guess you could say is the 532nd birthday or Columbus Day ever. I was very tempting right before the show for me. I wanted to get into the weeds about the holiday. I appreciate him and all the other explorers for the dangerous work that they did and for their contribution to Western civilization, which I'm mostly happy with. And it's a shame that his name is kind of being smeared by a lot of people who don't necessarily know better. I will leave you with one observation before we actually get into the meat of this birthday show, because I felt like I should say something about it. I know we could do a talk on this some other time, but he was really cool when I was a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s. And he had already been dead for a very long time. And now here we are a few years later. He's not cool anymore, and he's still been dead for a very long time. I don't know if there's a lot of people in history like that or not. Find it very unusual. Anyway, I wanted this to be a pretty simple, pretty lighthearted show since I'm celebrating another birthday, another year on this earth, thanks to God. Be 47. It's easy to think that I am probably in some kind of midlife crisis right now, but like feeling like somehow I'm unfulfilled or something's not quite right. But if you have God and family and friends on your side, and you're grateful for them and for everything that you've been blessed with, it makes it all worth it. And that's my first point is just to be grateful for everything you have. Most of us are, in fact, richly blessed. It's not necessarily all of us with material things and what have you, but many other things that are not material and really can't put a price on. So always be thankful, always be grateful. It seems like there's kind of not as much of that in society as there should be these days. But anyway, that's always rule number one. But of course, you can keep going into the next topic here. You can always keep dreaming. You can keep always pressing forward, learning new things, trying new things. If you can dream it, you can do it. For some reason, Elon Musk comes to mind right now. He's accomplished some incredible things through the free market. What was that thing he did this weekend with the rocket actually came back to its launch pad or something like that? I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And I'm not much of an electric car guy either, but the fact that he's done it through the free market instead of the government trying to force it on people. So he's an example of somebody who not only can dream things up, but made them happen. And I think always keep dreaming, keep setting goals, keep pressing forward. If somebody should oppose you on those dreams, don't ever give up. Occasionally, some of the people who oppose you are kind of close to you. Sometimes family and friends might tell you that that's crazy or that'll never work or anything, but I'm here to tell you that it's good to be crazy, strange, different, weird. I probably felt all of those things over and over again in my life. And, I feel kind of weird and different, since I've stepped out into doing something different than dentistry and healthcare, like this podcast and writing on Substack and trying to write books and all that. And it's slowly coming along, but it does feel like it's coming along, and I'm trying to be all those things, pioneer or maverick, or what's the other thing, like trendsetter or something like that. I'm trying to do all those things and keep a positive mind. And the other thing I would also say as far as learning is to keep praying to God. He has a plan for our lives, and he reveals a lot more information than we may otherwise know. Now, this is another topic for another time too. I may or may not have mentioned this, but I think if you tune into him through prayer and you pay attention and you listen, not only will he reveal more and more things about himself, but he will reveal more and more things about your life. He'll put good dreams on your heart, and because he's God, he will see them through one way or another. As long as we keep the faith and we keep in relationship with him. And he has to see it through if it is truly aligned with his will. And the other thing, probably the last thing that I would tell you of all these lessons learned is to not be afraid. Just keep going at it. Believe in him and believe in that dream, believe in that vision, and it may not happen overnight. And sometimes I don't know when it will happen, but eventually things do come around. If you have that right motivation, the right spirituality and everything, most certainly everything can happen. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to all those folks who have been listening to me and subscribing, tuning in every week. Thank you so much. It's great that you're here with me today and just celebrating 47th birthday. Can't believe it's been that long. That was in 1977, and it was a Sunday, from my understanding. I don't know if you're probably not interested in this, but Mel, maybe you are. I was born like 6:15 or 6:30 in the evening. I know the only thing I know from that day is the Cowboys, back when they were good. These are the Landry Cowboys of the 70s. They wound up winning the Super Bowl that year, and on that afternoon they defeated the Eagles in Philadelphia by a score of 16-10, I believe it was. That's the only thing that I know about the actual day that I was born. But anyway, obviously things have changed a lot since then, and the Cowboys aren't quite as good this year, and nor is the NFL. Things are so much different now. In these last few minutes, I will try to remember a few birthday memories. I've had so many of them, and some of them have kind of faded out over time. I may not even remember all of them. I do remember my Aunt Joyce would, in the early years, would send me a lot of $2. She would send me like a $2 bill in the mail, back when stamps were cheap and a lot less than $2. And there was a joke in there about that, about how she was always giving those for our birthday. But I have to mention that usually the celebrations were pretty good. There was birthday cake for a long time. Even in the years when my mom was like in the 90s when my mom was buying us all this crazy diet junk, like that low-fat snack wells and all that stuff. I mean, I didn't have that as my birthday dessert. I actually had a cake and all that, but I'm just reminded of that. There was a birthday where we had a really good time at a barbecue place. I think it was in high school, and then senior year, my mom got me a limo. I really haven't ridden too much in a limo since then, but obviously things have changed over the years as family has come and gone, and got married, and what else? So it's kind of the nature of them has changed, but anyway, I mean, I think all of them have been pretty enjoyable. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do for mine this year, since it's the middle of the week. We're planning on doing a little trip in the days afterwards, but anyway, I think that's really about all that I have to say for my birthday on this show. Just don't take your years for granted. Don't take anybody else for granted. I mean, even if there's some disagreement and conflict here and there, just try to be peaceful with whoever you can, whenever you can, and well, I would say, just like Jesus says, love one another, and be a great citizen of God, a citizen of the United States, as I say, with voting coming up. I think that's about everything. I thought I had more to say. I thought I'd have more stories. I do remember there was birthdays where I got to play golf, and that was a lot of fun. Usually if your favorite football team is playing on your birthday, that was a lot of fun too, although I think there's been a tendency for my favorite team to lose on my birthday, so, or at least that's what it seems like, but, man, I was thinking way back then, like elementary school, when all the kids in the class, or like a lot of them anyway, would come to your birthday party, and it was a school thing or a classroom thing. Those were always a lot of fun, but anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up a little early. Don't have as much material and this week, kind of a laid back sort of deal. Anyway, call to action as usual. Please go ahead and hit subscribe and tell your family, friends, coworkers, people you see at church, people you see at the store, people you see at the gym, whomever you run into, just tell them about It's a Frankly Harry podcast and its accompanying Substack, I guess, article site, Life's Comedic Odyssey. And we'll see you again in the forest next week. This is Frank Weber from, oh man, I'm getting my 47-year-old brain now. What's the name of this show? It's a Frankly Harry podcast. I love you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week. Planning on doing this for a long, long time. Thanks. Bye.